absolutely extraordinary film, because there we've seen you're playing the fan, but you also play the star. How was it playing two roles in the film?
I've done double roles before, but Luke, this one is special because the fan is a look-alike. He's not exactly a duplicate or a double. And then he's 24 years old, and the movie star is 50, on the brink of maybe getting over with his stardom. A little more responsible, serious, very unlike me, and less flamboyant. For me, it was more difficult to play the movie star because we've only tackled his personal life. We've not talked about, shooting movies and flamboyance and people. And then this younger guy was very difficult, mainly because of the makeup. It used to take 4.5 hours to wear that jaw, which is incidentally done by a gentleman called Greg Cannon, who did Benjamin Button. So the jaw is actually Brad Pitt's jaw from Benjamin Button, yeah.
The same jaw.
Same jaw, yeah. I'm famous now.
You and Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
It's an extraordinarily interesting content as well, because we see the fun side there, but there's a sort of darker message as well in there of a fan who gets rather too close to the star.
Yeah, two things. I think one of them is, the younger age, how you don't really think the magnitude of your actions or the enormity of your actions sometimes. I just do it. They just go ahead with things. So it's a fan who's 24 years old, loved him since childhood, and for him it's just very natural. I remember the first time I saw a movie star on the roads, I said hi, and I was really disappointed he didn't recognize me back. I'm like, but I know him, why doesn't he know me back? And I think it's just like that with him. He believes this guy would know me, and he knows how much I love him, so, we could just sit down and have a chat, and I want to meet your kids and everything. And he starts getting disappointed, and how it turns his whole life around. So there is a darker side, where it kind of leads to aggressive obsession and a little bit of revenge kind of a story. So it's a completely a new kind of a subject, never tackled before. So it's very, very interesting and not too dark, but quite intense, yeah.
It gives a certain weight to that as well. What's your own experience with fans? Because you have, like I said, so many. Have any extreme ones who've tried to get so close to you?
I've only got girl fans, so the worse they get, the better it feels. So I'm okay. If they cross boundaries, I'm happy with that. But in this case, yeah, it does. It's quite a made-up story. But I've heard other people tell me, other stars tell me, the obsession. I had a guy who stole into my house, took off his clothes, jumped into my swimming pool, bathed, wore his clothes, and when the security stopped him, and it was very interesting, they said, would you like to meet Shah Rukh? I said, no, I just want to bathe in the same water. And he walked off, and that's it. And he didn't want an autograph, didn't want to see me. He said, I just want to bathe in the same water, and I've gone. So I've had some fun ones, but not dangerous, obsessive ones.
That's the story he'll be telling for the rest of his life. It's strange, though. They wasn't keen to meet you. He probably likes the concept of you.
Yeah, and he didn't want to disturb me. He was very kindly, and he said, no, I don't want to disturb him. It's night. I just want to bathe. He took off all his clothes, jumped into the pool, and I didn't have heart to tell him, and now I'm saying it, but I never jump into my pool, so he didn't really bathe in my water. But I want to break his heart. And I've had some, some girls and who come from Germany, ladies, they follow me wherever I go, they're here. And I feel really out of place if I land in New York and if they're not there. So the whole logic is wherever you go outside India, we'll be there. So they're here right now, actually, maybe outside the studio. So.
Well, it's interesting. We talked about the film. There's a line in the film where the fan says, I'm paraphrasing here, without me, you're nothing to the star. Yeah, those fans, they make you. So you have an obligation to them as well as they to you.
Absolutely. I mean, finally, your consumer or the person who likes you, and then a relationship turns to a little bit more than just liking you. It becomes passionate sometimes, yeah. So you owe it to them. But sometimes they also need to realize that perhaps the image that I'm working for, the image of what I'm doing, I'm just an employee of that image. I may not be exactly like that, or I may not have the time or the headspace at that time. Though I personally, my life is dedicated to people who like me, because for me, it's even my family understands, and that's a big sacrifice they've made. They listen, our father's time belongs to these people. So, I do that. I go out of my way. But there are days, when you can't explain, like at the immigration, when people want to take a picture. I just said, the immigration officers get very angry. Please don't do it. But they do. Or I stop them, my security, and they're like, come on now, we made you, and you have to. So they get a little angry at times. Yeah.
I was thinking about this when the last time I interviewed you you were promoting Happy New Year, and in the same event I interviewed your co-star Abhishek Bachchan, who said when he's in the UK, what he likes doing is going to the supermarket because no one recognises him. Him and Aishwarya go along and they fill things up. It's a novelty. I imagine it's not quite the same for you. You probably can't go to the supermarket
No, but
here.
I do go to those places to buy things with my kids when I'm here. They're both studying here. So in the evenings, we wear a hoodie and then we try and go. But unfortunately, or fortunately, it's nice actually. Even with the hoodie, the Indians and the diaspora do recognize me because I think I have, my daughter says, you have a swag. And I'm like, no, it's not true. And she says, no, we get recognized. But I like going to supermarkets also and shop here.
Well, what else do you do when you're in here? Because you say you
I
come
just
here
stay in
with
the
kids.
house. I go to the gardens, the parks, and I play soccer with my kids. Then I go watch movies because I don't get to watch movies otherwise in India.
Yeah.
So I go to the Marble Arch or wherever it's available and I go hide and just hang with them and play a lot of video games at home. I have a little house here, so I spend time with them or travel in the trains, you know, picking them up. I really like that. I find that extremely romantic and beautiful.
Look out for Shah Rukh on the trains. Look, you've find it romantic, beautiful here. Could you ever see yourself making London your permanent home?
Well, I'd love to. I'll call it my second home. I really enjoy it. Whatever little excuse. I'm here for 2 hours today.
Yeah.
I'm just like, let's just go down and I'll go to London and come back. So I love being in London and I'm sorry, I like the grey weather. I like the cold, I like the damp. I really enjoy myself here and I would love to. I try and make excuses to make pictures here, movies here, so I can spend months here. And now because the kids are here, I have an excuse. So I spend a lot of time here, yeah.
Now, my last question for you. I've learnt Bollywood dancing for this channel. I want to improve my chances of getting into the Bollywood film industry. Can you teach me your pose?
Okay, I normally don't do this without charging for it, but just for you, Luke, I'm going to do. You
You're
have to
very
stand up.
kind.
Is it okay to stand up?
Okay.
The camera still catches us? Okay. So you have to get your right leg a little like this. That's the
Okay.
main thing, yeah?
That's the
And then you do it. And then you look into the air and space as if you're looking at a romantic and beautiful girl. The eyes have to be glazed and in love.
Well, there we go. I'm working at this. I'm being told in my ear that I'm rubbish at it.
Actually, you are, but
I've got to keep practicing.
keep doing this, yeah.
Keep
Just
doing
keep
this up
it'll come.
there.
I'll feel it. Think of a
Okay.
poem and just keep it.
There we go. That's it. This is my
Okay,
audition.
please stop it. I can't see this anymore. Please, Luke.
I remember I had one last question to ask you. We were just talking about the royals in India. They're doing a big tour there. You met them in Mumbai. How was it to meet William and Kate?
No, they were extremely gracious, full of poise, so beautiful, really nice. And I spent a lot of time with them. I had dinner with them. I had a hard time explaining food to them because, you know, halfway through she asked me, what is this? And I forgot the English for palak, which is spinach. And I was feeling like such a fool. I'm not a very food person, so I didn't understand how to say it. Then finally I got it. I got so happy. I asked them, spinach. But they were really nice. They were really sweet, and I hope they have a great time there. And I think they've gone down to Delhi. And it must be over now. I just met them.
They're still in Assam today.
Oh, I saw them. They were really
safari.
nice and very gracious, and it was very nice. All of us were saying how kindly and wonderful they are. It was nice to have them there.